UFC 307, Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree has flipped the MMA community upside down. I mean, I did not expect this one coming, as I'm sure almost anybody. It seemed almost certain after Alex's last fight with Jerry Prohaska that his next title fight would be against Magomed Ankalaev. Based on ranking and based on how the sport basically shaped up to that point. And Alex himself expressed that he would have liked to challenge himself from Magomed Ankalaev. So this definitely came out of left field. Nobody expected it. And I guess the UFC likes doing that. Sometimes throwing things out of left field. DC came out with comments saying that the UFC is protecting their golden goose, and there definitely seems to be at least a little bit of that here. Um, it's hard to say or think otherwise. And the thing with that is, I actually would have picked Alex to beat Magomed. I actually would have picked them, and particularly because Magomed Ankalaev had come out and said that he wanted to strike with Alex. So Jamal Hill only striked with Alex. Um, Jiri on the second fight only struck with him, and Khalil's going to do the same. So it definitely seems like the UFC wanted to give Alex a striker, and I can definitely see why, but Alex a big boy. He can take care of himself. He's 6'4", 6'5". He only looked a little bit smaller than Tyson Fury. This is a guy that he could go up to heavyweight and have a lot of success. I can see him knocking out Rosenstruck, Tuivasa, Derek Lewis. I could see him knocking out Francis Ngannou. You would have to get the highest levels of wrestlers in the UFC heavyweight division out there, like Tom Aspinall and John Jones, for me to say, okay, Alex is in a disadvantage. So I don't know. I think, and I'm pretty sure the fans agree that Magomed Ankalaev was the fight to make in terms of meritocracy and in terms of rankings and everything else. And it's disappointing. It's disappointing at the end of the day because we are the fans. We are the ones that have to pay the pay-per-views, and we want to look at fights and look forward to fights in the months precluding the fight that we're looking forward to. And we want to have the fights that make sense, especially in the title picture. Especially in the title picture. And when Magomed Ankalaev versus Rakic was announced, my first thought was that maybe the UFC just wanted to honor Alex Pereira's statement that he didn't want to fight until uh, November or December. And Magomed was steadfast that he wanted to fight in the Abu Dhabi card, so they gave him Rakic. But these guys are only fighting 2 to 3 weeks apart. So that tells me they definitely could have made the Magomed fight. They definitely could have made it. So why didn't they? They obviously didn't want to. And again, that can be that they want to protect Alex, which again, Alex doesn't need protection. Or that can be that they just don't like the Magomed fight. They don't want to see it stylistically. Like, they think it's going to be boring because obviously Dana didn't like Blachowicz versus Magomed, which ended in a draw, etc. And they think this fight has a more chance to be exciting. But in that case, I don't know. I would have gone even with John Blachowicz. I would have gone with John Blachowicz. John is higher in the rankings. He's more popular than Rountree. And you could have sold it based on the fact that their first fight was extremely competitive. I actually gave that first fight to John. He dominated the first round by a long time, so I would have given the first round a 10-8, and I gave him one of the second or third rounds. I can understand that Blachowicz is risky because of that first fight being so close, so it seems like they just wanted to give him a layup. Pereira's going to be around 4 inches taller than Rountree. He's going to have a reach advantage as well. And if Pereira was able to hit Hill and Prohaska before they could hit him and get them out of there really quickly, Jamal Hill, with the first strike that he landed, he knocked him down and then subsequently knocked him out pretty easily. And Prohaska, that head kick in the first round knocked him down. Actually, no, I'm wrong. The head kick was on the second, but he knocked him down at the end of the first and finished him with the head kick on the second round, early second round. I don't see how Khalil Rountree survives even the first round. His best win, I would say, would probably be the Anthony Smith knockout, and that was in the third round. Pereira's knocking people out in the first round. So I don't think that this fight is that competitive. I don't think it's that warranted for Khalil. And he probably has to agree with that himself because he knows he's number 8. His best win in terms of the rankings is Anthony Smith. Before that, Dawkins was coming down from heavyweight, and he was on a 3-fight knockout loss skid. And before that, the Justin Jacoby fight, a lot of people are saying he lost. I didn't watch that fight. So, came out of left field. I don't love the fight, but at least it's Alex Pereira headlining. And when you put the whole card together, it's not a bad card. You got Raquel Pennington versus Pena. I'm going with Pena here. You got Kayla Harrison, which I assume is going to take the winner if she wins herself. Probably will have Harrison versus Pena, with probably Kayla Harrison becoming UFC champion at the end of all this. We got Evloev versus Sterling. I'm going to pick Evloev on that. I think that his pressure is going to be too much for Sterling. Sterling doesn't have a lot of power or good striking. So I'm going to go with Evloev on that one. You got Joaquin Buckley versus Wonderboy. I'm going to go with Buckley by knockout, actually. I think Wonderboy's done, unfortunately. So overall, a good card. It sucks for Rountree because everyone would have loved for him to be switched around, in this main event. Like if we would have had Alex versus Magomed, or even Alex versus Blachowicz, which Pereira's management or translator hinted as a possibility after his last fight, would have been better. But it is what it is. We have what we got. Like and subscribe.